Here's a headline. The GDP number was just released. Are you ready for this? America's gross domestic product, the growth we saw in the third quarter from July to September is a historically high record-setting recovery. America's gross domestic product grew by roughly 7.4% from July to September, as consumers and businesses are determinedly, desperately opening up and getting this country back to business. Are you ready for this? The growth that America saw with the GDP equates to an annual rate of 33.1%. That is by far the largest since modern record keeping began in 1947. The previous record was 16.7% in the first quarter of 1950. So go ahead, Biden, keep bellyaching about Trump's economy, because Trump's economy is roaring back. 5 days before the election, this incredible number was just released moments ago. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. And of course, as a political talking point, it doesn't get much bigger than that. Mainstream media won't cover this the way it should be covered. I don't even see it right now on Fox News. It's a huge story. It was released 11 minutes ago. America's gross domestic product grew by 7.4%, which equates to an annual rate of 33.1%, by far the largest since they began keeping the records in 1947. I believe the president will mention that today in Tampa, Florida. I may go. I may head over. I may head over to Tampa to the rally outside, I guess, Raymond James Stadium. I don't know where it is. I'm a little nervous about how to navigate those crowds, but I know some people. So maybe I'll call in a favor and see if I can go catch the enthusiasm that is undoubtedly going to happen today, 1:30 in Tampa, Florida. Here's another headline. Jack Nicklaus. You like Jack Nicklaus, the golf legend? He tweeted a statement yesterday. He said, "Through the years, I've been blessed to personally know several presidents on both sides of the aisle. All were good people, all loved their country, all believed in the American dream. I've had the privilege over the last 3.5 years to get to know our current president a little more. I've been very disappointed at what he's had to put up with from many directions. But with that, I have seen a resolve and a determination to do the right thing for our country. He's delivered on his promises. He's worked for the average person, in my opinion," Jack Nicklaus said. "He has been more diverse than any president I have ever seen. He's tried to help people from all walks of life equally." He went on to say he believed the president will deliver the American dream to more Americans in a second term. So Jack Nicklaus, what is he, the Golden Bear? My father-in-law worshiped Jack Nicklaus. I think my father-in-law is smiling down from heaven right now at his idol's endorsement of the 45th president of the United States. So listen, we got a lot to cover here. 1-800-655-MIKE. We're in the ReliefFactor.com studios. I heard an interview this morning. I'm still shaking mad from it. To hear Chuck Todd in an interview defend the mainstream media's refusal to cover the Tony Bobulinski, Joe Biden scandal is so sickening, so disgusting, so appalling. These people are jackals. They're corrupt to the core, and it's like they're playing a game with everybody, and we all know how ridiculous they are. Chuck Todd said this morning on the radio that they're not covering the Bobulinski Joe Biden. It's not a Hunter Biden story either. It's a Joe Biden story. Not covering that because they can't quite verify the details. Because they're responsible over there at NBC. They only cover things that are, that they can verify. They never go with anonymous sources at NBC. They can't do that. course, P.S., Tony Bobulinski is anything but anonymous. He's first person. Only person's covered this, Tucker Carlson. That's it. Twitter won't let it be shared. Facebook won't let it be covered, and NBC refuses to cover it, led by a hack like Chuck Todd, who insults anyone listening to his voice with his ridiculous comments. You know what else he said this morning? I'm in such a foul mood listening to this crap. Chuck Todd literally said that he's got anecdotal evidence that Americans don't like the Trump rally. That they're a net negative because coronavirus, don't you know? Oh, and by the way, can we make one more point about coronavirus before we get our day rolling here? How about the surging in Spain? It's out of control in Spain. They're terrified in Spain. You know, long they've had a mask mandate in Spain. I thought mask mandates were the be-all, end-all, Joe Biden. Locking down in Germany. Locking down. They're in big trouble in Italy. That's Trump's fault, right? Trump's the reason the virus is surging in other countries, right? That's all Trump's fault, right, Joe? Right, Kamala? If they win next week, I don't know what we're going to do, because it'll be one of the biggest travesties that any of us will have ever witnessed. They're a bunch of clowns. They're just a bunch of clowns. They're a bunch of lying, corrupt, desperate, fearful, miserable clowns. All right. How you doing? Happy day. It's Sunday. Meet the press. What did Nancy Pelosi say? Good morning. It's Sunday. That's why I just break into that after my rant.